We've been a part of it since the beginning. It started out here in 2005.
That's right.
And it's been a long trek, but you have finally arrived at your destination. And you have eloquently promoted awareness about the need for world peace. I think it's fitting that you began and now you conclude your march here at the King Center, because my uncle, Martin Luther King Jr., was an unflagging champion of peace and nonviolence. In his Nobel Peace Prize lecture in 1964, my uncle said, "We will not build a peaceful world by following a negative path. It is not enough to say that we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but on the positive affirmation of peace. We must see that peace represents a sweeter music, a cosmic melody that is far superior to the discords of war. In short, we must shift the arms race into a peace race. If we have the will and the determination to mount such a peace offensive, we will unlock hitherto tightly sealed doors of hope and transform our imminent cosmic elegy into a creative psalm of peace." End of quote. We are called by Martin Luther King Jr.'s challenge and example to lead America and the world to a brighter future. A future in which citizens of all races have opportunities for jobs and education, decent housing, and health care. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life, teachings, and examples still provide hope and inspiration for millions the world over. His teachings are more relevant than ever and can help correct the social, economic, and political injustices of our times. And I must stop here because I was glad to hear Brother Chavez say one thing, because we at the King Center now, since actually November, have been spending a great deal of our time trying to knock down one myth that's really important, and that's why I was glad to hear Brother Chavez address this. And that is, it's a great thing that has happened in this country. We have made history in this country. It's one of the greatest things to happen in this country, the election of the first African-American president. But no matter how great that is, and it is great, I must hasten to say that it is not the realization of my uncle's dream. Okay, please don't let people rope-a-dope you like that, because that's America trying to take the easy way out. Okay? My uncle didn't die for any man to be president. Okay? My uncle didn't die for any race to dominate another race. He died so that we all would be treated as God's children. And as long as there are people who can't get health care in this country, as long as there are people who can't get fed, then the dream of Martin Luther King Jr. is not realized. Okay, so don't go for the hype. Okay, it's a great thing about Barack Obama. I led the way to voting for him. Okay, I mean, it was a great thing, but it is not the realization of my uncle's dream. My uncle held a strong conviction that nonviolence was the only method that could win hearts and minds. We don't get rid, and I quote him here, "We don't get rid of enemies," he once said, "we get rid of enmity." He said that we shall never hate the evildoer, just the evil deed. We're all sinners, but none of us are beyond redemption. Freedom-loving people of all nations are realizing that nonviolence is the most powerful force for human rights at their disposal. Every day it becomes increasingly clear that if humanity is to survive and prosper, then nonviolence must be the wave of the future. We have only begun to tap the power of nonviolence as a force for peaceful conflict reconciliation, for social change, and for building community. I would encourage all of you here today to learn more about the matchless power of nonviolence as a tool for conflict resolution and how it can be used in our homes, communities, nation, and world. Indeed, the study and practice of nonviolent social change and conflict reconciliation may prove to be the most important and enduring aspect of the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. In one of his last books, published in 1967, my uncle said, and I quote, "I suggest that the philosophy and strategy of nonviolence become immediately a subject for study and for serious experimentation in every field of human conflict, by no means excluding the relations between nations. And this challenge bears a special urgency as we confront terrorism and seek peaceful solutions in the Mideast and Near East." And so today, I join those who speak for the millions of victims of militarism, not just the fatalities and casualties of war, and not only the refugees and other innocent civilians who get in the way of armed conflict. We speak for the impoverished, the hungry, the ill-housed, and the uneducated masses who have been denied a chance for a decent life because of excessive military spending. On this 41st anniversary of the assassination of America's greatest voice for nonviolence, we are here to say we can no longer afford to replace diplomacy and peaceful conflict resolution with military conflict. We are here to say that inadequate education, housing, health security, unemployment, and poverty are more of an immediate threat to our national security than anything that's happening in other countries.